do any manual therapy technique is always the same. Okay, all right. Your goal is to be awesome to us manual therapists, right? So when I did my fellowship after being 8 years being a PT, and I thought I was pretty good because I was a professor, I was board certified, all these certifications ready. But a fellowship, somebody comes and watches you when you treat your patients, and I was not that good, all right? Because I was like all over the place with techniques. I was too sloppy, right? So it made me realize if a person is not around me, how do I know if I'm doing a technique right? Right? So what I'm about to tell you, I say it all the time, right? Whenever you do any manual therapy technique, one thing stays still, one thing moves, not enforce. That's it, right? One thing stays still, one thing moves, not enforce. Okay? Right? And you have to understand why you do everything, right? So the first thing, right? All you guys are too far away. Like, you're like this. Okay? But am I crushing you?
No.
How about now? How about now? How about now? Okay. Alright, so why is it bad to be far away? Your biomechanics, you're gonna hurt your back. And then B, you're gonna what? Remember in kinesiology, torque equals the force times the perpendicular distance, right? That means you have to require so much more work. So, number one, most important thing, always close to you. Okay, that's why I chose her, because I have a story yesterday for rolling. Okay. Okay. Now, some of you guys had the leg bent, some of you guys did not have the leg bent. What's the purpose of the leg bends?
Block the pelvis.
Block the pelvis, what does that mean?
It's pelvis removing.
Good.
Flattens the back.
Which then does what? Flattens the back, which then does what? Okay. Remember, what's the principles again? One thing stays still, one thing moves, right? So. You try and do this, right? Right? Remember, we said this segment is what? Anterior translated, right? So your goal is to do what? Do this, right? But guess what's gonna happen when you do this? Everything's moving, right? If you're stiff, once everything's moved with you, why would this magically fall in place? So what's your goal? That this guy here is doing what? Staying still. Make sense? So when I push, this moves. Yeah? So how do we ensure that? By flexing the legs. What am I tightening up? The thoracolumbar fascia. Remember that big guy in the back there? When you do this over here, you're pretty much stabilizing the bottom. The combination of the table and this, okay? And the higher you can flex it, the better. Because if we're doing this over here, then not tightening it as much. Make sense? Okay? So, you understand, when you do manual therapy, every small thing counts, okay? Number two, you tickle the person. Okay, no tickling? No, okay. Okay, now, remember, one thing stays still, check, okay? Next thing, one thing moves, alright? One thing moves, alright? So, when you do this technique over here, this is the most common mistake, okay? What am I doing wrong?
Direction of force.
Yeah, direction of force, good. What else? Yeah, the shoulders are moving, right? Remember, what's the purpose of doing this arm cross here? Your whole goal here is to make a functional unit. What does that mean? Oh, sorry. A little bit hot here. Oh, it's my Father's Day tie. Yeah, it's pretty custom. Don't be jealous. Okay. Ah, better now. Okay. So, what does functional unit mean? Hmm? Yeah, everything's moving one unit, right? So let's say it's T5, T6, right? My whole goal is for this to be T5. Okay? If you do just a little bit loose, it's a shoulder mobilization, right? So that's why the person has to get really deep over here, okay? Especially if they're very flexible shoulders, like her, because she's young, right? You really have to cross it, okay? So that's common mistake number 3, right? 1, too far away, not bending enough, and really, really, really making this tight, okay? Once you do that, most of the times they will manipulate just from the setup. Okay? Any questions in that part? Alright, so then, to protect my fingers, right? You roll the person this way, okay? Now, when the person rolls, you see what Bella did? She thinks she's gonna fall down, right? Right? You're not gonna fall down. Look, I got you, baby. I got you. Okay? Okay? You fall down, did you? Okay? On your knees, okay? Alright? So, alright? The person would start tensing up and they'll start moving their arms and legs, right? Remember, the small little things count, right? So you have to tell them, I'm gonna roll you over, don't worry, you're not gonna fall. And you see, you lean into the mat there, okay? Not both thighs. Why not both thighs? You're off balance, right? Remember from guarding, right? If the force is coming this way, should my feet be this way or this way, right? This way, right? So that's why you lean in here and say, don't worry, I got you, baby. See? All right, okay? So then, you found the technique, the segment, all right? And this pistol grip, all right, you guys, remember? TP, TP, Spanish process. TP, TP, Spanish process. Whoosh. Okay. So, can you cross your arms? Okay, I got it. Okay. Okay. Alright, so then, right, you see what I did? Right? Cross your arms tight. Okay? I just roll her over. Right? You guys are losing the transitions. Okay? You're losing transitions. Roll over. Okay? Next part, I'm gonna manipulate, so I need somebody else. Thank you, Bellaboo. You want this back? Volunteer so quickly. No offense. Alright, walk me through it. Get close, right? Alright? 2. Right? Boom. Boom. Cross here. Alright? And then, see? You see how my legs here? And I cradle here? So she feels safe. Okay? You have to make the patients feel safe, guys, right? And not just start guarding, okay? Without being a creep about it, okay? All right. Don't worry, feel safe. Don't ask if they feel safe and make eye contact this close. It's awkward, okay? Then, right? Got the grip here, right? And you see what I do here? I roll over, okay? Roll over, okay? And do what? Stay here for a few seconds, make sure she's okay. Right now, there's barely any pressure on my hand, right? This is your pre-manipulation hold. Remember that? Yeah? Okay. And then, goose grip. Right? You guys are too far away with goose grips. So like nice and tight here. And remember, this is no pressure. And when I start doing what? Bringing it down, what am I waiting for? Pressure on my hand. Okay? But this is probably the most common mistake. If you try and get this segment functional unit, functional unit, functional unit, you roll over and she's doing this, what happens? She surpassed the motion here already. Alright? So what am I doing with our arms? I'm doing this until there's firm pressure on my hands. Until there's firm pressure on my hands. What does that tell me? That means I'm at the segment. Alright, make sense? This is probably the biggest mistake. People overextend them. They overextend them, and there's no pressure in their hand. When they push, they're just doing this. Whereas, you see a difference there? Right? One segment over here, everything's moving. Alright? So you have to what? Flex, flex, flex via the arms until you feel pressure in your hand and you stay there. Okay? Okay? Okay. And you guys went over getting consent, right? How to explain to a patient, right? What are you telling them?
Educating them on what you're gonna do.
Yep.
How's it gonna feel?
Yep, and?
What to expect.
Yeah. Essentially, you guys tell them, I'm gonna crack your back, right? Because if you do your PT jargon and then you do it, I have had a couple of patients say, "What did you just do?" I told you, you don't understand. I'm gonna do a high velocity. I'm gonna do a quick little thrust. Everybody understands what? I'm gonna crack your back. Okay? The worst thing to do to a patient is a surprise manipulation. Okay? So you never get the trust back again. So that's why, yeah, use what? Layman's term. I know it's probably killing you. You want to use your fancy language, right? But you don't want the patient to be upset, right? So I'm gonna crack your back, right? And get consent. Okay. All right. So once again, ready? Roll her so she feels safe. Find the segment here. Goose grip, goose grip, goose grip, goose grip. Okay. See, I'm gonna flex her to feel firm pressure. Right? Feel firm pressure, and right there I feel firm pressure. Okay. And she feels it. And normally I don't take this long. Okay. You okay? Okay. All right. So then, where's the manipulation again? Where's the line of force? Straight down towards the shoulder a little bit, okay? Because that's where how the joints lined up, okay? So you see what I'm doing here? It's mobilizing, right? I should see what? My goal should be over here, right? If we're doing external cueing, right? If you guys learning acquisition of a motor task here, right? That's your target, okay? All right. So, can you pass me a marker, please? And here as well. Thank you. That's it right there. Alright? Your goal is for this to happen, not what? What's the difference?
Curling over.
Yeah, this is an osteokinematic, right? Thoracic extension, right? Versus an arthrokinetic, right? A to P. You see that difference there? Right? This is probably the one that killed everybody. They keep doing this. Right? Osteokinematic, arthrokinematic. Okay? Alright? And then the last part, you actually do the manipulation. And it's all about what? Speed. Okay? And the problem is that all you guys are scared of hurting each other. Right? But if you ran through the contraindications and then you explained it to the person and you do your pre-manipulation hold, you should feel pretty safe that person's a good candidate. Okay? This is why we spend so much time making sure you guys know your anatomy, all the different things, so you feel comfortable doing a thrust because the person is safe. Okay? So, let's go over this one more time. So, what's the quick little things I should do first? I should do what? I should do what? I should do pre-manipulation hold, and what else?
Firm pressure.
Firm tension.
You're going to do upper motor intestine.
We can go over.
Oh,
Sternal
sternal
test.
test. and
Upper motor and dura.
yeah.
Skis.
Okay, let's go over again. All right?
Before we practice them.
So, whenever you do any manipulation, right, each body part has its inherent dangers. Okay? Upper cervical, vertebral artery. That's why we don't teach it to you guys. That's way too dangerous, right? Okay? Lower cervical, you might hit a nerve, right? One of the peripheral nerves. Okay? Lumbar spine, right? You might twist too much and cause a herniation, right? In the thoracic spine, the biggest dangers is what? Somebody's osteopenic, you're gonna break them. That's why we do the spring test, right? But the other thing is they might have a herniation. Okay? Herniations in the lumbar spine goes posteriorly, laterally. So what does it do? It hits the peripheral nerve. In the lumbar spine, there is no spinal cord, right? Spinal cord stops at L1 or L2, right? In the thoracic spine, a herniated disc goes which way? Posteriorly. Not posterior laterally, but posteriorly. And who can it hit? The spinal cord, okay? The only 1% people get a disc herniation of thoracic, so most of the time it'll be pretty safe. But to be safe, we need to do what? Make sure that the spinal cord hasn't been compromised. So how do we know if the spinal cord has been compromised? We do what? We do a quick little screen. So the biggest thing you do is a quick upper motor neuron test, do a clonus, okay? Yeah? Am I doing it right or doing it wrong? Yeah, hold it, okay? That's the most common mistake. People just let go. What's your goal here? Sustain hold nothing should happen. Right? Right? What's the positive sign? Yeah, more than 3 or 5, depending on what you read. Right? Okay. And then but the thing is, if somebody has multiple sclerosis, won't they have a positive upper motor neuroscience? Can they not get a thoracic manipulation? They can. Right? Remember, we're worried that the disc is hitting the spinal cord at this segment. MS, it could be anywhere, but there's a lesion here causing the upper motor neuron signs. So does it make sense? Not every person has a positive upper motor neuron sign. You're not going to do a manipulation. So what's the other thing we need to do?
Slump.
Yeah, you need to do a slump test or straight leg raise test. Okay, and what are we looking for?
Symptoms
Yeah, but what type of symptoms?
on the left, on the right side.
No.
In the thoracic.
And the thoracic. That's the most important thing. Okay, so when you do this, so when you feel any pain, discomfort, tightness, there, where? Behind here?
Yeah.
That's the most important thing is where's the pain? Okay, and you know, it's getting worse when you do this.
Yeah.
Yes, if you head up, get worse.
Yep.
Yep, okay, that's positive dura, but something along here, not there, I feel safe. Okay? You see, right? You guys have to understand everything. Just don't go through the motions. Because if you don't understand why you're going to do it, you're going to forget to do it. Right? So you understand the why. Right? And B, if you did everything the right way, you're going to feel safe giving them a minute. Because I checked for herniated disc. I got consent, so I know she psychologically is going to relax. And also did a pre-manipulation hold, make sure the tissue integrity could withstand that type of force. Okay? These small little things here will allow you to do the next part, which is the thrust. Okay? I know it seems like smaller details, but with manual therapy, all smaller things count. Okay. Okay. All right, step 1. Go closer, right? Step 2.
Bend the knees.
Bend the knees. Bend the knee, haha. Game of Thrones joke, haha. All right, a little too old now, the joke? Okay. All right. Step 3. Cross arms. No. Cross arms tightly. That's why I'm here, okay? What's next step? Huh?
Educators.
Right. Well, you should have got hopefully the permission before you do all this, right? So, by the way, I'm going to place, okay? You know, you'll log roll her. How?
Stagger stance.
Stagger stance, okay? And,
Close contact.
right, it's called the goose grip, right? Goose grip here. Turn, right? Goose grip and turn. Yeah? Find your segment. Okay? Yeah? And then, what do I do next? Lower back roll. Oh, sorry. Okay? And just, do what? Stay there. You okay? Any pain? Okay? Once again, please don't be a creep. It's like, are you okay? Alright? Isn't that creepy? Alright? Yeah. No, I said, no, Dr. E, you're not creepy at all. Okay? I keep calling me creepy for my kids. Thank you. Alright. Alright. So what's next?
Front pressure.
Yeah. Do this until I feel firm pressure. Yeah. And then what's next? Minute, right? So, she breathes in, I breathe in, okay? And then we'll minute on the exhalation, right? So breathe in. And then you do what? Right? You take up the slack, and you go to end range. The next common mistake is this. Okay? No body, they call it body slams, okay? Right? Just stay there, and minute. Only time you do body slams when the person is much bigger than you. Okay, which we'll talk about another time if we have time, right? So, first time I do manip, I'm gonna do a mini thrust. Okay? So, breathe in and relax. Alright, it went, right? And that was a mini one. Okay? Why did I do a mini one? Because you guys are new. Alright? And you guys are gonna be scared to actually do it. So that's why I do that. Doesn't work? Then I bring a little bit more amplitude, right? In total, I will do 2 or 3 attempts. Okay? But the other reason why I do that is to make sure the patient can what? Tolerate the manip. Okay? You hear the manipulation, don't get all excited in front of the patient. Be cool, pretend you've been there before. So, How was that for you? Okay. Okay. All right. Or like you okay? You're okay? Like you're worried that you just went wrong. Okay.
Still feel your legs?
Huh? Yeah, you still feel the legs. You're okay, right? So ready? Let's go through the numbers again. Okay. Ready? What's first thing? Close. Why? Body mechanics and power. What's next? Bend the knees. Why? Very good. Direct elbow. What? Stabilize the bottom. What's next?
Firmly. Tightly.
Tightly. Why? Stabilize the top. Okay? What's next? Goose grip and log roll. Why? Yo. You want to get to the area, but why do we do it maintain the goose grip? Because you do this here, and you lose it so sloppy, right? That segment doesn't feel stiff anymore. So this, get goose grip here, boom, get you ready here. There you go. Okay? What's next?
Find the tension.
Fine.
Stay there for a minute.
So you stay at pre-manipulation hold. Why do you do that for?
Make sure the patient's comfortable.
Make sure the patient can tolerate. Good. Then what do? Then we what? Flex the spine, right? See that? Flex the spine until I do what? Why do I do that? To make sure I'm on this segment. Okay? And then what's next? Yeah, manipulation. So breathe in. Keep it in for me. Breathe in and then exhale. We manipulate which direction? This direction. Making sure we avoid what? No. That and no extension. Okay? So we're gonna do all this together by the numbers, and then we're gonna play around with that, okay?